when looking at the spawn of the seed, it doesn't seem to be anything too spectacular. But if we happen to have a look from the sky, yeah, we have once again spawned on top of a massive survival island seed, which honestly has quite a number of noteworthy things across the island. But first off, to start off, this is your spawn area right inside this forest, right next to a tiny savanna, right next to, once again, a mega ocean around the place. But to be honest, what do you expect? Like, this is a mega survival island seed. There's bound to be some ocean around here. What you might not expect to find is the fact that just past this one forest, you get a pretty decent sized jungle around the place here too. And fortunately, you have the two different types of jungles right here, the pretty densely populated one with a whole bunch of foliage, and then the pretty thinned down one right over here. And heading across this way, we'll eventually find ourselves a pretty decent sized savanna compared to the one we found at spawn. And something else that's also decent in spawn is this mega cave right here. We'll come back to caves later, but just know that around the island there is plenty of different types of entrances to mega caves. And off in the distance over there, that is of course mainland over there, and my render distance is set to 30 chunks right now, so to be honest, it's not too incredibly hard to get yourself to any mainland right here. Nor is that the only chunk of mainland you can see, because just over there there's a little bit more too. Also, I've not quite mentioned this yet, but pretty much split right between the middle of this one mega island is a pretty decent river around here too, so in case you want to just flow yourself around your mega island, then you do have a pretty good way of doing that here. But again, you have an ocean. Of course you're going to be able to do that. I mean, obviously. And something else that's also quite obvious if you go around the riverways or the oceans is the fact that you'll eventually run across this one ruined portal with quite a decent amount of obsidian. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though you're going to have enough obsidian, but still, it's a pretty good start in getting yourself a nether portal, which just so happens to give you this spawn with normal nether wastelands with some crimson forest over there and things like that. But if you're not quite so interested in that ruined portal, then you might be interested in the other main line over there with a mesa and a desert over there. And I believe that makes 3 out of the 4 corners of this one island surrounded by mainland, so in case you do want to get yourself to mainland, then it's not going to be too hard to do it. And it's also not going to be too incredibly hard to find any lush cave blocks as we can see just down there. Nor is it going to be too hard to traverse this Stony Peaks mountain, because literally, I'm pretty much right at the top, and we're at, what, 125, 126, so yeah, not too hard of a climb. But even with a tiny mountain like that, that still does give you a chance to get an ancient city below, and just as luck would have it, this seed underneath the island just so happens to have an ancient city deep below this one island. So of course having a mega ancient city right here is pretty cool, but what's also pretty cool is the fact that just over in this direction, we can see an absolutely massive cave going off in a really far direction over here. So I guess if you're in need of making a cave base, then this might be a pretty good place in doing it in. Oh, I didn't even know about this, but okay, this layer is the deep dark layer, and just above here, we have an entirely different biome being the lush cave layer, also going off in a pretty decently far direction. And another thing I didn't even know about is the fact that you could actually access the deep dark without breaking a single block, as we can see right here, as well as not having to worry about your legs breaking with some water deep below down here. But of course, since this is a survival island seed, albeit a really big one, you might be wondering if there's an ocean monument nearby, and fortunately enough, not too incredibly far from the spawn point, there actually is one just over there. As well as that, there's a coral reef right here, and much like every other coral reef we check out with 1.18 plus generation, it seemingly goes on forever. Like, again, my render distance is set to 30, and it's still going as far as the eye can see. But at least while you're out here, you might as well stop off at this one shipwreck. Or maybe not, as this one doesn't have a treasure map. But honestly, you're not really going to need the treasure map, because just around spawn again, if we head into Spectator and just head underneath the beach, we can see there's a treasure chest right here. Heading off in this direction over here, there's another treasure chest right here. Just over here, we have a third treasure chest. Another one right here. Another one over here. And that makes, what, 5 separate treasure chests you're just gonna find in the direct vicinity of spawn? That's kind of insane to really think about. Wait, is this a 6th one, or have I just gone over one again? I'ma just go off on a limb and say that's the 6th treasure chest we found. But yeah, let me know what you think of the seed. Let me know if you have any specific seeds you want me to check out in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I just noticed, this part of the island right here kinda looks a little bit like Africa. I'll see you all later.